I get asked all the time, Russ, should I use Facebook Marketplace? And the answer really isn't that quite straightforward. There are a lot of pros and cons to using Facebook Marketplace to promote your inventory and to sell more cars. And I know quite a thing about using Facebook Marketplace. I actually sold a car about 5 years ago from Facebook Marketplace. It was the first time I ever did it. I put it on Twitter because Gary Vee inspired me to put cars on Facebook Marketplace. I sold it right away. I was hooked ever since. I've definitely had some ups and downs with Facebook Marketplace. And Gary liked my tweet, by the way. But in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly the pros, the cons, everything you need to know about Facebook Marketplace. And by the end of this, I'll give you my exact answer if I think you as a car sales professional in 2026 should be doing Facebook Marketplace. Now, before we even argue opinions if this is a good or a bad idea, let's just talk straight numbers. Over 1.1 billion people use Facebook Marketplace globally. So there's a lot of people on there, but how many people in the United States are actually using Facebook Marketplace? Well, that number is about 1 in 3 people who have Facebook go on Facebook Marketplace regularly to shop for whatever. But of those users, how many of those people are actually looking at vehicles for sale? And this number might actually shock you. Every single month, over 20 million vehicle listings are clicked on. That is a lot of people clicking on a lot of cars. For context, websites like Car Gurus and Cars.com report about upwards of 40 million users at their website every single month. Those aren't clicks. Facebook Marketplace is getting half of their website traffic just in people clicking on listings, telling you that there's probably more in-demand shoppers on Facebook Marketplace than Car Gurus and Cars.com. And around 78% of buyers say that social media influence their buying decisions. So Facebook, it is social media, and then they have their marketplace, which is a powerhouse for people looking at cars, watching videos on cars, and then ending up on the marketplace looking for those cars as well. So if you're in car sales and you're not using Facebook Marketplace, let's say you're a little late to the game, but there's a little bit more to this story than just like putting cars on Facebook Marketplace. Now, I want to clarify really quick because people say this to me all the time. Yeah, Russ, I do social media. I do a bunch of social media. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing? They're like, oh, I do Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace, I really don't count that as social media. In my mind, social media is building a brand, getting people to know you, like you, and trust you. You're just listing cars on Facebook Marketplace. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you look like. So this does not count as social media in my book, but it is a valid place to start when it comes to your social media journey. And you can definitely pick up another couple of car deals every single month. But let's talk about the pros of Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, there's massive traffic. I just gave you the numbers. There are people all over the place looking on Facebook Marketplace every single day. And it's free. You can post on Facebook Marketplace pretty much as many cars as you want at no cost. You can pay to promote them, but that's not something we have to talk about right now. You can put these cars on Facebook Marketplace right now for free as we're sitting here talking. And obviously, if somebody's looking at Facebook Marketplace, they are in the market for a car. Some people like to browse and waste time, but a lot of people who are on Facebook Marketplace looking at vehicles are looking to buy a vehicle. The average person doesn't spend too much time looking at vehicles when they're not in the market for a vehicle. So it's a great way to get in front of buyers who are looking to buy a car right now. Now, some of the cons of Facebook Marketplace is you're competing entirely on price unless you have a super rare car. If you're just putting your typical run-of-the-mill Nissan Altima or Ford Escape or whatever it is, most of these highly produced vehicles, you're competing with so many other people, it's just going to boil down to price. Nobody's going to get to know who you are. They're not going to care about your dealership or all this incentives you have to buy from them. They're looking at pictures of the cars and the price. So if you don't have a good price, it's going to be very unlikely you're going to get leads from there unless, like I said, it is a rare car, a rare spec, a really nice color. They're not going to care about any of that. They're just looking simply on price. You're also going to attract a lot of time wasters. People like this.
We've been talking for 2 days now, back and forth, but I just realized you're 4 hours away from me. Will you meet me halfway for 20 bucks? Nice car. Will you trade for a kayak and a Nintendo Switch?
Of all the listing websites, Facebook Marketplace probably has the most people who will just ask you, is this available? And then never respond. So that is definitely a downfall. You will get a lot of messages of people asking you, hey, is this still available? Is this still available? And then they don't even answer, or they'll say, hey, what's your best price on this? And then you try to have a conversation with them and they don't answer. So there are definitely a lot of tire kickers on Facebook Marketplace as well. And they're just really not buying from you. I believe as a car salesperson, the most important thing in the transaction is me. I believe that now. I'll always believe that people make the difference. They could buy a car from anybody. So if they're going to buy it, it might as well be from me because I'm going to give them the best experience. And when you're listing on Facebook Marketplace, they're not concerned about that. They're just concerned about the price. And I think that's one of the biggest downfalls of listing websites is there's no relationship. You either got to be the cheapest, the rarest, the best looking. If none of those boxes are checked, you're going to have a tough time getting the client's attention. And that's how those marketplaces are set up to be. Now, I want to give a shout out to Shiftly. This video is certainly not sponsored by Shiftly Auto. They are a company that will take your entire inventory and put it on Facebook Marketplace for you. Like I said, they are not sponsoring this video. I'm not getting paid to say this, but if you believe in the Facebook Marketplace strategy and you're willing to invest, they are a great company that will help automate all of it for you. Or you'll be like me in this video here, manually taking pictures of it. Yes, they did sponsor me for that video. They did pay me, but they are not paying me for this. I actually really like the team over there and their product, and it's given people a ton of great results in terms of just automating that system that, otherwise you have to do manually and go take pictures of your 100 car, 200 car inventory, which can take a lot of time. Here's the difference most salespeople miss between Facebook Marketplace and organic social media. Like this video I'm making here, or the thousands of videos I've made on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, is Facebook Marketplace is like hunting, which is fun. It's fun to hunt. Love hunting. But social media organic, building a brand, is like farming. You're building your crops. It's gonna have a huge harvest one day. And a lot of people aren't willing to do social media because it's a get rich slow scheme, but you get very, very rich from social media. Look at all the people out there that are building massive brands from social media, and they don't need to list things on Facebook Marketplace. They're not trying to deal with all these crazy shoppers on Facebook Marketplace. They're not even taking ups at the store. They're generating their own leads. So I would recommend Facebook Marketplace ultimately if you have no customers. If you need to get in front of people, you don't have any cars sold, you're like, I need to sell cars. It's a great way to sell cars like right now today, so you can feed your family and pay your bills. But if you're looking for a long-term solution, it's where I just highly recommend building a brand on social media. So final answer, should car salespeople use Facebook Marketplace? Absolutely, but it should be part of a bigger strategy. If you combine that with your own brand on social media, then you can certainly stop waiting on the front door. There aren't too many salespeople I know that love to just say, yeah, I just love waiting for customers to walk in. That is my whole strategy for 2026. I'm just going to wait for customers to walk through the front door. If Marketplace is your only move, you're just racing to the bottom. Or even worse, you're putting these listings up and getting no leads at all. If it's paired with social media marketing, that's where you start to print money. If you want to learn how to use social media to actually sell cars and not just list them, hit the link down below. What I teach is certainly not the easiest thing in the world, but like I said, it's like farming. And when you yield that crop, it's going to change your life. Like some of my students who have sold 15, 20, 25 cars in a single month from their organic social media strategy, where people are reaching out to them, not based on price, but based on brand, and they actually want to do business with them.